Well, I got Stinky Pete apart again. So what I could see with that seal that went bad, it was not just overpressure, it was also melted. I'm pretty sure it was melted because those seals are tapered, so the pressure squeezes it onto the shaft and just, I think, got it too hot. I believe the melting point of that rubber is like something like 600 degrees or 500 degrees. The heat exchanger is only putting out about 150 max. I'm positive this is just too much pressure caused the seal to go bad. That's the one right here on the front of the injection pump. The fuel pump does have a way to adjust how much pressure is put out, but something must have happened and put out too much pressure and caused this to fail. What I might do is when I get home, I might get one of those electric fuel pumps that mounts up on the frame that has its own pressure regulator. And I'll try running straight used motor oil again. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some stale gasoline in this tank, get it back up to that 10-15% stale gas to oil mix, and bypass the heat exchanger and the fuel pump and fuel filter and everything underneath. I'm pretty sure that electric pump put out too much pressure, ruined the diaphragm pump, which I just put a new one in, it's working properly, and caused the seal to go bad. But this is the first time I ran long distance with used motor oil. I only did like an hour drive testing and a few things, and everything was working good. But trial and error. But for now, I'm just pretty much going to go back to my pre-mix oil and gasoline. I'll just have it plumbed into whatever tank I have to the valve so I could switch from my regular fuel tank to whatever fuel tank I have in the back. But some positives, running straight used motor oil, I would not have noticed the timing problem. Because used motor oil has a higher flash point, the ignition of that motor oil is slower than regular diesel fuel, so you have to advance the timing. Now, because the timing was off by 3 teeth, what was happening on my way out to Mr. Fix-It, it only burned partial of the fuel because that cylinder is all the way halfway down the cylinder on its compression stroke. And whatever fuel is left in the fuel bowl on its exhaust stroke, it has enough compression to burn and ignite, causing it to do this backfiring at the exhaust. Because it was backfiring at the exhaust, burning all that unburned fuel in the exhaust, it got hot enough to melt those brass nuts on my turbo before. And full throttle, I was only doing like 50 miles an hour and was just smoking like a bear out the exhaust. But now, since it's in proper timing, it's advanced a little bit extra. I'm excited to get this back on the dyno to see how much horsepower this thing is putting out now. And for the people that are asking, when I rebuilt the motor, I kept the timing the way it was, because the guy that had this truck before me did not tell me he messed with the injection pump. I figured he did because I saw they fixed the killer dowel pin. The crank and camshaft have regular timing gears, but the injection pump did not. It just had this DEC thing on it. They had the timing mark at the E. Now I have it where my thumb is.